So we have two rails. One rail has clamps on both ends, and the other rail has a blank on one end and a clamp on the other. So we're going to take the rail with two clamps on it. We're going to take our splice bar, take our second rail with no clamp on it, put it on the other end of the splice bar, hand tighten, take our wrench, that's the first rail, and we need two rails for this collector setup. With our A1 Pro brackets mounted on the roof and our rail assembled, now we want to put the two things together. We specifically mounted our A1 Pros so we would not have any more than 7 inches cantilevered out beyond the clip. So we want to measure to make sure that's good, and that's where we want to be. Now these clips have a notch at the bottom of them that fits into the rail. So what we want to do is we want to pop our rail under these clamps, and we can tighten these down. With that secure, we're ready to mount the next rail. Now that we've got our rails mounted on the roof, we're going to take a diagonal measurement from the bottom left corner to the top right corner of the rails. We're going to do the same from the bottom right of this rail to the top left of that rail. Those measurements should be exactly the same. We can adjust one of these rails up or down to make them match. It's critical that we do this so the collectors fit correctly in the clamps. Before we lift this collector on the roof, we're going to install a handle, which makes it easier to pick this thing up. Goes in a little track. There's a little solid block that goes against the edge of the collector, and we tighten it down. And then we can lift the collector. Now that we have our rails mounted on the roof, we're going to take this Wagner flat plate collector and hang it on the rails. We've installed carry handles so Steve and I can easily carry this up the ladders and put it on the rails. So you ready? Let's go. So we're just going to set this down on the clamp. Now that we've got the bottom part of the collector clamped, we can take the handle off. And we can tighten the top clamp on the collector. With the first collector mounted, now we're going to take the second collector and we're going to slip it up under this clamp. Like that. Now that we have our collectors mounted, we're ready for plumbing.